session 1 of what I'm calling What It Means to be a Child of God. Last week we were looking at the fact that we are children of God. We have a loving Heavenly Father. But this week I want to look at, well, what does it mean for us? How do we live as children of God? The first thing that comes to my mind is Exodus 20:12. Honour your father and your mother. Now I know this refers to our earthly parents, but it really refers to God too, because the greatest commandment is in Deuteronomy 6:5. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. To be a child of God, this really is the most important thing. To honour our Heavenly Father, to obey Him, is a priority as a child. And Scriptures mention this time and again. Proverbs 3:6, in all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. We also have the story in Ezra 10, where the people were returning from exile, and Ezra the priest gathered them together to confess the sin that had sent them into exile in the first place. And when they were all gathered together, he said this: "You've been unfaithful. You've married foreign women, adding to Israel's guilt. Now, honour the Lord, the God of your ancestors, and do His will." So this is honouring God by being obedient to Him. We also honour God by our lifestyle. Proverbs 14:31, whoever oppresses the poor shows contempt for their maker, but whoever is kind to the needy honours God. So we honour God when we care about His creation, and that of course includes all people. To dishonour God brings strife. Read in 1 Samuel chapter 2, Eli was the priest, the head priest, and he had two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, who were also priests. But Hophni and Phinehas were just carrying on with complete disregard. It says this, we're in chapter 2 of 1 Samuel, verse 12, it says, they were scoundrels, had no regard for the Lord. Verse 17 said, the sin of the young man was very great, because in the Lord's sight, because they were treating the Lord's offering with contempt. Eli did rebuke them, but they just didn't listen to him, and he did nothing about it. He didn't punish them. He didn't, he just didn't do anything about it. And because of this, Eli and his sons would die. In verse 30, the Lord said, those who honour me, I will honour. Those who despise me, I will disdain. In Daniel, in chapter 5, we have the story of King Belshazzar, and he was giving a great banquet. He was the son of Nebuchadnezzar, and he ordered at the banquet that they bring in all the gold and silver goblets that Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the temple in Jerusalem. And they brought them in, and they began to drink from them, and they were drinking toasts to all their gods and all their idols. And suddenly a hand appeared and writing on the wall, and King Belshazzar was absolutely terrified by what this was. He wanted a translation, and Daniel was called in to translate. And this is what Daniel said. He said, you, Belshazzar, have set yourself up against the God of heaven. You did not honour the God who holds in his hand your life and all your ways. Therefore, he sent the hand to write this inscription. Your days are numbered. You've been weighed on the scales and found wanting. Your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. It's right and it's natural as children of God that we should seek to honour Him in everything that we do.